Hey guys, welcome back to Tarot Talks. We're going to review the Devil card. This is card number 15. So this is ruled by Saturn and Capricorn. 10th house of the zodiac, and it's at the very top of the cross of matter. And when I say the cross of matter, it is when you're looking at your birth chart and there's a cross in the middle surrounded by a circle. So this is at the very top of the cross. This rules the house of career when you're looking at your birth chart. We have the 1 plus the 5. So that's how you arrive to 6 in the numerology of this card. Instead of the 3 plus 3, which is like harmony, we're looking at something that's a little subverted and disjointed, but it's basically the same version of something. I mean, a different version of something. It's the same thing, but the different version. And I'm going to show you now. So this is the complete opposite of the Lover's 6. If you can see, the cards are really similar, except we have a darkness and light thing going on here. So whereas we're being controlled in the 6th card by, say, the scientist, the alchemist, who has unified the most perfected version of the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine. We're not in the physical human realm yet. We didn't make humans. There's a substance that, or some type of formula where he has brought together the sacred masculine and feminine, and he's created the human twins who go on to then create humanity. Okay, so if you think in the sense of what's controlling the essence, like this angel here, this alchemist, he's controlling the male and female here, the human male and female. In this card, we have the devil controlling the human male and female, driving the actions of, is really what I want to say. Like, the force that drives the actions of these people is the devil in this card. And they're chained to the devil. They don't have freedom because they're in a state of complacence, and sometimes it can feel really good. So this card is stagnation, but it's stagnation in a place that feels comfortable. Sometimes we might not even know that it's time to move on. It's time to evolve. So the next card after this is the Tower. So it's like shit is going to go down for you to have to really get to the next level in life. So this is a card that will keep you down. It will keep you subverted. It's very much about subversion. It's subversion of the human nature. And we have that in the imagery of the pentacle facing down between the horns of the goat. So that's the numerology, and the 1 plus the 5 is, so if we isolate the 1, it's the ego of the I am, the creator. So we have the egoic side paired with the sensuality of number 5, which is ruled by Venus. And it's very much about sensuality and overindulging and not really having a balance between what's good about these things, which would be let yourself indulge every once in a while, but then go back to a type of balance where you're not overindulging all the time. Okay, so the keywords for this card are indulgence, temptation, fear, misuse of power. And this card really will appear when you're straying from your spiritual path. This really isn't a fortunate card in either sense when you get it. It's just not, it's not like, you know, a lot of people are afraid of this card. It doesn't mean that there's a demon haunting you. It's just showing you your demons. This is essentially what our demons look like. Our demons are our ego and what keeps us stagnant from spiritual evolution. Those are our demons. So a lot of times in media, you'll see the businessman, the devil represented as a businessman. We had it in the movie with Keanu Reeves where they're lawyers. I forget what it's called. And we see that just in the Lucifer essence a lot. He'll come to you at a crossroads, dressed to the nines in a suit, offer you an enticing offer, always in exchange for something more valuable than you're actually willing to give. But a lot of times humans get tricked by the idea of riches and fame, because that's what the devil induces. He induces the feeling of indulging in your egoic nature. Okay? So the rulership of Saturn, we are ruled by Saturn. So that's the end card in the tarot, in the major arcana, is Saturn. And it's very much a message that somehow we are being ruled by Saturn. And the powers that be do know that, and they help us stay subverted, basically. So one way to kind of rise above that is to understand Saturn a little bit better. So Saturn is justice. Saturn is the sharp part of the sword in justice. It's the sentence, the banging of the gavel, sending people to the gallows for the wrongs that they've done. Saturn is harsh lessons. And a lot of us receive harsh lessons in life, but it's only super harsh if we avoid the lesson. We avoid the things that led us to have actually been in those situations where we're receiving the harsh lesson. If we find the balance, the positive side of Saturn, we find it through becoming purified, through a sense of discipline and avoiding indulging in the ego. See, the ego is a part of us. We have it. So we do have to, at some point, recognize it's there and indulge it in some way. But there has to be a balance. We can't be driven by our ego. We have to have some type of discipline. When you're trying to get your body in shape, when you're trying to lose weight, the key is discipline. When you're trying to achieve a goal, when you're trying to build a business, the key is discipline. You can't go out and eat meals every night and buy the most expensive shoes and have the handbags you want when you're trying to build a life or a career or a business or save for a house. Like, anything you want to get done involves sacrifice and discipline. And that is the essence of Saturn. So if we find a way to understand Saturn, we can understand balance, because that is what we're ruled by. We do have sun worship very much in our culture, in our symbolism, in our media, but there are scientists out there, if you look up the electric universe, who will tell you that at one point Saturn was our parent star. So I think that's a huge secret that's being buried. I'm not saying it's a fact. I'm just saying, very much in tarot, everything ends with Saturn. If you look into the Saturn matrix, it's very interesting. It talks about how it keeps our soul entrapped in earthly matter to keep us from rising. I really do think that that's because our consciousness has been so restrained, and it's our responsibility, not anyone else's, to figure this out and to rise above it and to become enlightened. And this is through sacrifice and discipline. And that's how shit works on this earth. That's how things are manifested, through sacrifice and discipline. Even if we're manifesting with the mind, even if you're the type of magician that doesn't do ritual magic and doesn't do those type of things, you're a mental alchemist. To make things happen, you think about it and you keep your mind straight. You don't doubt yourself. You don't let negative thoughts about what you want to happen even come into your mind. You know, there's also a sense of, when you're manifesting, thinking about it and doing whatever you're going to do and then letting it go. So anytime that creeps back into your mind about how it's going to come together, how it's going to work, you have to have discipline enough to be able to train your mind to understand that you will be able to manifest this thing. But things take time. They take sacrifice. They take discipline. Okay? So that's how you fight the devil card. That's how you rise above the devil card. And you also have to ride through your whole entire life falling apart. So you'll see in a lot of other decks, Salve Coagula written on the devil, which is a major alchemical saying. So in alchemy, Salve Coagula means to dissolve and separate. So when we're talking about alcohol, in alchemy, you have to extract the spirit of the plant, which is the essential oil. That's why essential oils have healing properties. It's the actual spirit of the plant extracted. So you have to dissolve that in alcohol for that to separate and come together and become a new essence, basically. So that's alchemy, and that's why the next card is the Tower, because you're going to experience everything falling apart, the dissolution of the ego, which is this card. If you're moving on to the next card, it's everything. Shit's going to go down. You're going to, like, I knew somebody that he lost his girlfriend, and then his mother died, and then he lost his car, he lost his job, and then after that he met his wife, he had a baby, he got married, and he's living his best life now. So he had to endure a really, really terrible time of loss and suffering for everything that had to come apart for it to come together again. And in real life, that's what alchemy looks like. So we have to be able to understand alchemy in a sense of how it works with plants, how it works spiritually, how it works in the realm of matter. Okay, so hopefully I've made that a little bit more clear, because alchemy can be very confusing. And again, I will always push the Modern Alchemist channel. You guys got to check him out if you're into alchemy, if you're looking for higher learning to understand the tarot in a more deeper sense, if you're really looking to unlock, because anyone can learn the book meaning of tarot. Anybody can do that. It's you're just memorizing. But eventually, once you study tarot enough, it will reveal its secrets to you. But you have to be in the right, you have to have the right spiritual nature, basically. So you have to evolve yourself for the tarot to then turn the next page for you. And it's just such an amazing thing when that happens. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to talk about here is the imagery on this card. We have the subverted pentacle here. When you see something like that, there we are. And there we are, I have these on my wrists here. One's up, one's down. We're talking about when someone values matter over spirit. So that's all that is. It's nothing evil. It's just they value the material world over spirit. They like their money, they like their food, they like their sex, they like their drugs. That's what that is. They're going to indulge. They're going to skid into their coffin, beat up and ready to go, basically. They're not really living in spiritual purity, okay? It's not pure. So this is an impure card. And you can see that again when you put it against this card. It's very dark, you know. Nothing growing, nothing going on here. It's also a reference to the left-hand path where he's got his left hand down. He's got the torch of enlightenment, fire. You're illumined when you're in a heightened spiritual nature. You're subverted here. So this is the left-hand path. Yeah, and again, we have the goat imagery for the Capricorn. So you might get this when you are straying spiritually, when you're stagnant, when you are refusing to recognize that there's something better, there's a better way to live, and you're going to have to give up some behaviors. This might happen when you have a sitter or a querent, like they call it in tarot. Someone has a drug addiction. When you get this card along with a lot of cups, you'll see addiction, things like that, indulgence. Let's see what else. So again, like when you get this card, like I said, it's never really fortunate, but it's not the end of the world. It just means that there needs to be some type of change, spiritual impurity, indulging in certain behaviors, things like that. So that's the end of my devil video, and I'm so excited to be moving along here. Hopefully I can have the end of this series by the end of the summer. And then we'll have some other fun videos. I'm going to have to get creative. I'm excited about it, actually, though. I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful Sunday. And I am really looking forward to seeing you again and finishing this series up. Have a great day.